In this video we are going to learn how to construct quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral is just a name behind any four-sided figure. Of course, the basic one is just like a square and a triangle, right? So some of the other quadrilateral that you may know, this is just a name. It's okay. This is just a name. So what it means is the most important thing. That is a four-sided figure, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that okay? Okay. Now examples of these shapes are something like a trapezium, right? The rhombus and the parallelogram, as well as the square and the rectangle. Those are the basic things that we know. But how do you construct some of these things using only these tools, right? So the tools that we are going to use here are just a pair of compasses and as well as a rule. Here our advice is that you should have a long rule, and then finally you should have a simple pencil for ruling. Okay. Now let's see how to solve some of these things using a pure exams questions. The first question says that you should use a ruler, right, and then a pair of compasses only. That was the word. So these are the two things that we are going to use. Is that okay? And then we are going to construct a quadrilateral. A, B, C, and then D. As I said earlier on, it has what four-sided shapes here. And then with lines, so everything step by step. So this tells that this is a line. So line AB, that is equal to 9 centimeters, right? So this is the first starting point. So we know that at the end we are going to have a quadrilateral, but of course we don't know the type of the quadrilateral that we are going. We are just going to follow the instruction being given to us. So this one stands for a line. So line AB, that is equal to 9 centimeters. So here's my a very beautiful sheet that I'm having at my disposal here. So here the starting years are from A to B we have what 9 centimeters. So have your ruler, and then remember my ruler, the one that I'm using, I have two-sided dimension. That's the inches and what centimeters. So the centimeter is the one at the top here. So from 0 to 9. And I advise you that you should make sure that you start your drawing or the shapes at the middle of your drawing sheet, so that you don't run out of space, right? Okay, so perfect. Let's have our 9 centimeters down. So this is what my 9 centimeters from what? From A to B. Look at something. How this line goes beyond that 9 centimeters, it doesn't matter, right? So all that matters is you have to indicate your starting point and what the ending. So here we are starting from the 0 here, and then we end what on the 9 centimeters, right? So perfect. Here we are starting. They say according to the measurement, we are starting with from A, and then we are going to end at B, right? Okay, so I guess you should move along with this tutorial. Also, if you have any question, try and comment in the comment section below. Okay, so nice one. The next part of the construction or the question says that we should have line what B to C, right? So here we are moving from what B to C, and that is equal to 10 centimeters. Is that okay? Now the key here is that we don't know exactly where we are going to end. Either we are going this way, or maybe we are going this way, or maybe you may go down. So we shall not advise you to do that. And also in this case, the most important thing is the starting point. So we are moving from what B to C. So we are moving from what here. So this is our starting point here. Is that okay? So how can you get that 10 centimeters here? So that 10 centimeters is going to be, take your pair of compasses, right? And then have your ruler down, right? So this is your ruler down, and then have a measurement from the 0. Is that okay? So from the 0, and then open that up to what? Up to what? The 10 centimeters. Is that okay? So you start here, and then make sure that you have what? The pointer side here, right? And then open that up to what? 10 centimeters. Okay, so this is what I mean by that. So we are starting with the 0, right? So starting with the 0 here, and then you can see that I'm exactly on the 10, right? So make sure that you hold the tips of your compass. So hold the tips so that you can't close the compass. Now let's see how to do that. Now the next one is to stand at the B, because they say from B to C. So have your pointed side on the B, right? So this is the B line here, and then construct a very, make sure that you have the pressure on one side of the point, so that you don't do anything different from what exactly what you are looking for. So here we are going to construct an arc. So this is just an arc, this is just a line, right? So because we don't know where we are going to end, so make sure that you construct a very long arc here, right? Can you see my arc? So that's a very nice one. Maybe my advice to you to use HB or any recommended pencil according to your institution, right? So that you can see clearly. Now this is the arc. This is a very simple, a very long one. So from here to anywhere on the arc is just 10 centimeters, which of course we don't know where our B is going to end. So leave everything as it is and then move on to the next part of the question, right? Everything will just pop up at the end of your construction. So the next part is from A to D, that is going to 7.5 cm, right? So 7.54 centimeters. So with the same idea as I construct this one, I guess you should pause the video and then have your 7.5 centimeters from A to D, right? So just do that and come back and come and check your answer. So congratulations for just trying, right? So this is my 7.5. So you know how to measure that. If you don't know where 7.5 is, so from the 0 on your rule, and then you end up the 0.5 after the 7, right? So here will be the 7 point. So take that measurement and come and construct your arc, a very nice arc. You stand here, and then you construct that arc, right? So that is mine. So we know that from here to this line is going to be a D, and then from here to here is going to be C, right? We don't know where they are going to intersect here. Now let's proceed. The next part of the question says that we are going to construct angle A, B, and C. That is equal to 45 degrees, right? So angle, so this is the symbol for the angle A, B, and then C. That is equal to 45 degrees, right? So that is what we are going to construct here. The most important thing here is that you must understand where the angle is formed, right? So what I mean by that, this is where the destination, this is where the meeting is being here. The middle letter is always where the angle is formed. So we are starting from here, pass here, and then we end here, right? So starting from A, in this case, you start from here, and then you get to B. So once you get to B, then we are moving to C. So our 45 is going to form somewhere here. So you must know how to construct the angle of 45 degrees. We have some of this thing on our channel. So if you are new here, you may consider subscribing to us, or maybe check down below for our playlist on what constructions. Okay, now this is how you construct a 45 degrees. So I just stand here, this is where the angle is going to form. Is that okay? Open to any distance of your choice, right? So of course don't open a very wide distance. In this case, a very simple as mine without any measurement, right? So just stand here and then construct that very simple arc here, right? Have you see? That is the arc here, and then come and stand here. Is that okay? So come, first of all, to construct the 45, you have to construct the 90 degrees, and then you divide the 90 into 2 to have your 45 degrees. So here we are constructing 90 degree first. Now just the first arc. After you constructed the first arc, come and stand here. Okay, so come and stand here, open more than somewhere more than half of this thing here, right? So open more than half of this thing here. Now once you have more than half of this one, you have your arc at the top here, and then come and stand here, have another arc here, right? So the idea is just to bisect this line here into two equal parts, right? So that will give us a 90 degrees. There are so many ways of constructing the 90 degrees here, so whichever way is accepted, right? So once you have the 90 degree, this is a line from here straight to this point here. So let's have some short dashes over it. Okay, so nice one, very nice one there. So this here will give us a 90 degrees. So from here to here is a 90 degrees, as well as from here to here is also another 90 degrees. But remember where we are heading towards to. We are moving from A to B and then C. We don't know where C is, but we know that C is somewhere on this arc, right? So our angle must be here. Don't go outside here, because this is where we are moving from. We are moving from this A here to B and then to somewhere C, right? So we are not moving outside here, we are moving within. So your 45 has to be somewhere here, right? Okay, perfect. Now that we have the 90 degree, we are going to divide this 90 into two equal parts. So in construction, that is what we call a bisection. So we are going to bisect this angle here from here to here into two. So how do you do that? Make sure that that short lines here intersect the arc here, right? So very nice one. Can you see? The short arc here has to intersect the angle so that we can easily divide the 90 into two equal parts. So how do you do that? You open more than half of the angle that you want to bisect. Can you see? So this is more than half. What I mean by more than half of this one, right? So from here to here, more than half, right? So you stand here, you open more than half this without any measurement. It's okay. You just have to know what you are doing. Okay, here perfect. We have more than half of the 90, right? Can you see? This is more than half. The one that left is just very small. Okay, now more than half. Just construct the arc at the head ahead here, right? So and then come and stand with the same region. Don't close your compass, right? So come and stand here and then bisect it or maybe cross that arc. Okay, so perfect. So from here to here, if you draw a line here, that's going to be a 45-degree each, right? So this is what my 45 degrees of angle, right? So from here to here is 45. Even though from here to here is also 45, we don't care about this point here, right? So all that we are interested in is from A to B and then to C. So now we can easily locate our C. That is why it's always advisable to draw a very long arc here, right? So because we don't know where your angle is going to intersect. Once it intersects at this arc here, so here is going to be our C. Remember that. So from B to C is also 10 cm, right? So 10 centimeters. Is that okay? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you need more content like this. Now let's proceed. So the next part, we are going to construct angle BAD, right? So this is just a bad angle here. So about is equal to 135 degrees. Okay, so 135 degrees. The most important thing once again is to know exactly where the angle is going to form. That of course here is going to form at the middle letter, right? So the middle letter, let's go. Where exactly is that middle letter? A, right? So here's A. So now here we are moving from B to A and then somewhere D on this arc. So what will be the angle there? The angle will start from here, right? So we are starting from the B according to this description. All right, so from B to A and then we are moving to D at an angle of 145. So how do you construct the angle of 145? It's 35, right? So 135 degrees. Is that okay? So let's see how to construct that. To construct 135, you first need to construct 90 and then 90 plus 45. That is going to be a 135, right? So I advise you to construct a 90 first. If you have any other method here, make sure that you share with us in the comment section. Now, you know how to construct a 90 degrees. Of course, that's exactly what we did over here. So here we are going to construct a 90 here. And then maybe construct a 90 and come back and come and continue, right? So this is my very nice 90 degrees, whether big or small. All that matters here is that you are forming a 90 degrees angle, right? So the 90 degrees is both sides. So but remember the direction. So we are moving from what B, A, and then D, right? So moving on this line, right? So this is the line where in which we are moving on. Is that okay? So moving on this line, this is the B line, and then we get to what the A, and then move to D. So from here, we know that from here to here is 90. We need another 45 in addition to this 90 to give us 135. If this is the 90, once you divide this thing into two equal parts, we are going to have what 45, right? So that is what we are looking for. Of course, you know how to bisect this thing. This is just similar to the one that we solved there, right? So maybe once again pause and then construct or maybe divide this angle here from here to here into two equal parts. That will give us a 45, and then we have what 90 plus 45. That is what 135, right? Okay, so a very nice one. This is my 45 degrees, right? So this is exactly what we are looking for, right? So from here to here is from here to here is 45 degrees. So from here to here, which gives us 90 and then plus 45, that will give us everything is 135 for 135 degrees, right? Okay, now the D intersect the arc here. Can you see that? So here we have a very nice, beautiful D artwork at this point, right? So our D is here. Once they intersect here, and then we have our C here, then we are done with the quadrilateral. So we can join the line from this intersection, right? So this meeting point here, and then this meeting point here, and then we have the closed shape to be the quadrilateral, right? And this is a very beautiful quadrilateral that we have at the end of all the questions. So everything just starts for systematically one by one, and then you arrive at which type of quadrilateral is this. So I guess you should give me the answer to the first question here in the comment section below, right? So make sure that you stay here to the end. Let's see how to solve the other questions on that one, quadrilateral. This question also requires that we should construct a quadrilateral ABCD, and then with the following information, that is AB is equal to 7 cm, right? So 7 centimeters, and then we have our BC, so the line BC that is equal to 5 centimeters, and then we have angle ABC that is equal to 120 degrees, right? So we have 120 degrees, and then finally you have some conditions attached. You have to pay attention to the end of this video because you have some additional information as compared to the first part, that is of the locus, right? So the locus equidistance, and then so make sure that you stay to the end of the video, right? So I guess you can solve this thing. So you can easily handle the first part of the question, that is all, this part here and then this part if you've already started. Right, so I guess you should pause the video and try these two people, and then let's move on from this part. Okay, this is what I have, right? So here, from here to here is 7 centimeters, and then from B to C, that's the 5 centimeters. So we don't know exactly where the C is going to be. And then the next one says that angle what ABC, that's 120 degrees. So 120 degrees is going to be, the angle is going to be here, right? So the middle letter, right? So the middle letter is B. So the angle is, we are starting from A to C. So this is where the angle is going to form. That is the B. So to have the 120, that's the double 60 degrees, right? So if you are someone who have been following us for some time now, you should know how to construct the 60 degrees as well as 120. But this is how it goes. So we are going to construct the angle here, right? So here 60 degrees, turn at the B, and then open to any radius of your choice, right? So any radius here, and then have your arc down here, a very nice one here, and then with the same radius, don't make sure that you have your entire compass. Don't close, hold the tips of the compass here, and then come and stand here, and then have your construct another arc here to cross the first one as it is, obviously, right? So here, from here to this point is 60 degrees. So straightforward, you don't need any measurement, right? So you don't need any measurement, just the compass. So then come and stand here, right, with the same radius. Don't close the compass. Once you close it, you are going to have a different dimension. So here, come and stand here, and then construct another arc again. So arc here, right? You see, that is another arc here. So another 60, right? So from here to here is 60, and then from here to here is another 60, making what 120, right? So here is going to be 60, of course. So everything from here is a 180 degrees, which we don't need. The only thing that we need is 120 degrees, right? So from here to here is 60, and then from here to here is also 60. So this line here, you have draw a line here, or maybe rule a line from this point here and then to this, so that's 120 degrees, right? So the next one says that this line here, A to D, which is equal to A to C, and that is also equal to line D to C, right? So pay a critical attention here. Now, the only thing that we know here, we don't know exactly where D is going to be on our diagram, right? So we don't know that. The only thing that we know here is this guy here. We know this line here, line A to C, right? So we are told our line from here to D, A to D is equal to A to C, as well as also equal to a D to C, right? But the only thing that we know here, which we can see for now, the information that we have, we can easily determine that here is our C, right? So C is on this curve here. We can easily determine the values of from A to C by just taking what our pair of compasses, or maybe some divider in some cases if you have that. But if you don't have that, don't worry. So here we are just only going to use a pair of compasses here. Stand here, stand at A, and then open straight to C, right? So we are going to C. Just take that measurement, right, from here to C, right? So B on the C. Is that okay? So perfect. We are standing at A and then move to C, because why are we doing this? Because we need this information. We need A to D, which we don't know yet. So now that we have, let's say A to D is equal to A to C. So A to C here, this is what we are having, right? From A to C, right? Can you see B on the C? Okay, perfect. So come and stand here, construct the arc here, right? So that is the measurement. So construct the arc here. Of course, we don't know where that D is going to intersect. And then we also told that it's the same thing as what? From D to C. Okay, so D on this curve here to C is going to be the same thing, right? So here, come and stand on the C here, right? And then cross the arc, right? So cross the arc. So here you can see that it's not intersected, so you have to make sure that you extend that, you extend this arc here for them to cross. So perfect, right? So perfect. Anywhere on this line where the intersect is of our D, because based on this information given, right? So we can know that this measurement from here to here is the same measurement from here to here, right? Okay. So this is what my beautiful intersection, right? So here is going to be D, right? You can use any symbol to illustrate that this and this thing are equal, right? So with this one, that tells me that the line from here to here is the same as equal to from here to here, right? Okay, nice one. So what will be the next line? So the next question here says that we should find, or we should construct the locus, right? So that's one thing here. Locus is just a name behind one thing. That is one thing that you must understand. So suppose you live here, right? So you live here, and then maybe your friend also lives here, right? So and I asked you to construct, or maybe the route from your place to your friend's place is just a straight route, right? So a straight route here, so a straight line. So I may call this one a locus. So okay, so here this line here can just be what? A locus. So maybe if you say that you are standing here, and then if I want to get to your friend's place here, maybe I have to take a semicircle. So that's just a curve here, right? So maybe you have to pass here to your friend's place. This one can also be a locus, right? So the idea of a locus is that you must obey what they are telling you to do, right? This is just a name, a direction. Is that okay? This is just a direction. It can be anything. It can be anything that you can think of, right? So that's just a name behind that. What matters is that the direction, what they are asking you to do. Right, so according to this question, we are going to construct locus. We are naming that locus L1, right? So just L1, and then that is equidistant from what? B and what? And C. So B is here. Let's say you are here, and then your friends live here. We want to locate that locus, that joint or that root, so that any distance that you take from here to that locus, or that distance, or that avenue here, maybe let's say that's a food joint, right? A restaurant, something like that. Then it should be the same distance your friend will take from there to that place. So what we are trying to do here is that we are going to divide this line into two equal parts, right? And that is the meaning of the word equidistant, equal distance, right? So equal distance from here to the full joint, and then your friend also has to take equal distance to that. So the key here is just to divide this line to two equal parts. You don't need a rule to divide that. The only thing that you are going to do is just this compass. So in under construct, that's what we call what? A bisection, right? So if you know how to bisect a line, this is very, very simple. So you stand here, right? Open more than half of the line, right? So you stand here, open more than half of this line. This is the line that we want to divide into two equal parts. So we are going to bisect that. Open more than half, come and stand here, construct one arc, and then stand here, construct another arc here with the same what? Radius, right? Come and stand here, and then cross the arc for them to intersect, right? So they are intersecting at this point here, and then with the same one, then construct the down one, the another arc to cross the first one, right? So these two people here, once they passes through this line, we are going to divide that into two equal parts. So that is exactly the meaning of the intersection. So that tells me that the distance from here to that point. So let's do that. So this is what I had, right? So from here to here is the same distance from here to here, right? Here, by as at this point, you can easily measure and see, right? Is that okay? So here, from here to here is the same distance from. That's what we are calling what the locus. So by according to the question, that's the name of L1. So meaning that locus 1, right? So the next one says that you should construct L2, right? So L2 of the points equidistant from B and A. So here to here, so B and A. Right, the same idea here. So maybe I guess you should pause the video and then bisect this line to two equal parts. Let's see what will happen. So this is what I had after I bisect this line to two equal parts, right? So this is what my line here. Here, look at something. The first bisection here has to intersect it, right? So nobody will arrest you for extending this line. Right, so I don't think any security personnel can arrest you for doing that. So make sure that the space is yours. So make sure that you draw so that these two people will intersect. So this is exactly what the next part of the question is saying, that where these two people, this line and this line meet, we are going to locate that O, right? Center O. So you have to make sure that this line and this one, they meet at one point. Where they are going to meet is what we are naming center O, right? So this is my center, this is my center O, right? So where these two lines or these two locals meet, of course this is going to be what our L2, right? So L2, this line here is our L2. Okay, now that we have the L2 and the center O, the next part is that we should construct a circle that passes through A, B, and C, right? So we are going to construct a circle that will pass through A, B, and then what? And then C. Right, so how do you construct a circle? Right, so how do you construct a circle? With a circle, you need a radius. Right, so that is one thing, you need a radius. So the radius here, take a radius of this dimension from here to here, or maybe it can be from here to here, or it can be from here to here, right? So take any radius and then construct. All that matters, you have to make sure that it passes through this point, as well as this point. So with the center, right? So this is my radius here, right? So from here to C is my radius, or maybe you can choose to go here, or maybe you can choose to go here, right? So all that matters is I just stand at the center and then what pick a radius. Okay, so now let's construct a circle. So a very nice, beautiful circle here. Right? Can you see? I have a very nice circle. So you have to make sure that your compass is intact, right? So have a very nice compass and tight one, and then have your circle be constructed. Okay, now very nice one, right? So very nice circle within. So that is the definitions of your locus behind in a construction. Now let's answer the questions that follow. Now you say you should measure angle what? We are going to measure angle BCD, right? So BCD. So angle BCD. So where is exactly BCD is located? So BC and then D. So what do you use to measure angle? So of course you have to use a protractor, right? So use a protractor to measure that angle. So this is what my protractor. So if you don't know how to measure that, make sure that you give me a comment in the comment section. So angle B, C, and then D. So meaning that we are moving from B and then we get to the C and then D. So with the protractor, I don't know which type of protractor that you are using. So this one has a two-way dimension. So the one goes from 0 and so on and so forth. And there's another one down here that also goes from 0. So you have to know where we are moving to. So to take that measurement, you have to make sure that the middle, so the center here is always at where you want to take the measurement, right? So where you want to take that measurement is here. Right, so look at what is happening. So this 0 here has to be in line with where we are coming from. So we are coming from B, right? So this guy has to be on the line, right? And then the center, so this is my center here, always has to be at what? The point here, right? So that's the dimension. So this 0 has to be on the line where we are coming from, and then the center also has to be exactly where you want to take that measurement. So here is what we are going to do. So the 0 will be on the B, right? So the 0 will be on the B, and then that one also will be at the center. Can you see? Right? So perfect. Maybe your answer may differ from mine with some decimals, right? So that is not necessarily what matters. So this is just an approximation. You have to make sure that you are close to the answer. That's the most important thing. So which direction are you reading from? So you are reading from this 0, right? So the 0 at the top here. So you read and then until you get to where you want to be. So here my answer is exactly 100, right? So this is where we are heading towards. So mine is 100. Yours can be 100 and point something, or maybe 99 point something. Once you run it, you are going to have the same answer there. So give me your answer in the comment section on anything that you are getting. Then also take the radius. So make sure that you answer the questions that follow. So and give me the answer in the comment section below and come back and let's continue on. the next part of the questions. The next part of the question, or this question here, we are going to construct a parallelogram, right? So the idea is to construct a parallelogram. So we are going to construct a parallelogram A, B, C, D with all these informations according to the question. So we have line AB, that is for 8 centimeters, and this one is for 45 degrees. And then I believe that you have the idea on how to construct some of most of these things. But here, let me explain this. Also, I've already done this thing very nicely. So this is my first line, right? So it starts with here from A to the B. That is what 8 centimeters, right? So that is the first step, and then followed by angle BAC. So BA and then C, that's going to be a 45 degrees. So how do you acquire that 45 degree here is the most important thing here. The focus here has to be where the angle is formed. So specifically here, the angle is going to form at what? At A, and then we are moving from B and then to the C. So we are starting on the B, right? So moving on this line, this is the B. So moving on this line, then the angle is formed at what? The A, that's the 45. So to construct that 45, you have to make sure that you construct the 90 degrees here, which of course you know how to construct based on all the previous examples. So that is what a 45, 90 degrees first, this one here, and then you divide that 90 into two equal parts. So you know how to bisect an angle at what this point. So you stand here, open more than half of everything. Then you have your arc down, and then come and stand with the same radius here, right? And then you cross that arc to have your 45 degrees, right? Since this is a 90, once you divide the 90 into two equal parts, you're going to have a 45. Now, don't be in a hurry to locate a C, right? So leave it as it is. And then the next one says that you should have angle A, B, and then C. So we are moving from A to B and then to C. That is equal to 60 degrees. So for you to construct that 60 degree, which of course you know how to construct it from the previous example, we had a 60 degrees. So here is going to be what? Stand here at a B. That is where the angle is from. Open more than any radius of your own choice, right? So just open, then you construct the arc very nicely. Then with the same radius, come and stand here and then have your 60 down, right? So once you have your 60 down, then what are you going to do? So just draw your line, right? So draw a line here. So where these two people meet, that is where we are going to have our C, right? So perfect and very nicely. Now, remember the question says that parallelogram, but we are not yet done with the parallelogram. So this one here will give us a triangle, right? So that is a triangle. Now here's another addition. So that says that we should what? Have this line here, line PA must be equal to line PB, right? So from P is within the triangle according to the question. P can be here, P can be here, P can be anywhere. So don't be in a hurry to locate the P. So we know that it is within this triangle here, right? So if it is within this triangle, that is P to the A must be the same distance from what? From the P to the B, right? So perfect. So how can you achieve that? So if you are standing here, the distance that you can take from here to what, to your point must be the same distance from here to this or to this B, right? Okay, so how do you do that? You have to bisect this line into two equal parts. So let's divide this line into two equal parts. So meaning that we are bisecting the line. So how do you know how to bisect it? Stand at the one end and then open more than half, right? So more than half of the line, and then you have your arc at the top, right? So you have your arc at the down here, top and down, right? So one arc with the same radius, and then come and stand here and then open what? More across that arc, right? So make sure that you have the pressure at the pointed side. Is that okay? So I have the arc being crosses. So that was why I got my two joints here. Then I rule along to have my line be divided into these two lines to two equal parts. Okay, so now that we know that P is what on this line here within the triangle, we don't know whether it will be here. So how do you determine that? There's another instruction that says that from P to the C here, P to the C must be of 4 centimeters. So P to the C, we know that C is here. Is that okay? So have your ruler down right there. They have your ruler down there, the pair of compass. You can go straight by using this ruler, right? Just this to determine the 4 centimeters. But I prefer using the compass to determine that. So you take your pair of compasses and then stand at the 0, right? And then open to 4 cm, right? So 4 cm on the rule. Can you see? So from the 0 to the 4 cm, and then come and stand at the C, and then have your arc on the line, right? So have your arc perfectly on the line. So that is how we had this P here, right? Of course, this P here falls within what the triangle. That is exactly what the question is saying. Okay, so perfect and nice. That is all the information that we have. But here, remember about the question says that we should construct what a parallelogram. So with this idea of what a parallelogram, right? So that's what you are going to use to complete everything. So far, all the letters that we are seeing is A, B, and a C. So we are left with what the D. So how can we achieve that? Now we know that a parallelogram, two sides here, two opposite sides here must be equal, right? So here the line from here is the same distance from here to here, right? So the same applies to these two people. So that is what we are going to use to finish our parallelogram. So how do you achieve that? So here, come and stand here, right? So come and stand at the B here, and then open to the C, right? So open it to the C and take that measurement. Is that okay? So once you take that measurement, then you come and stand at the A here, and then have your arc down, right? You have a very beautiful and nice arc here. Is that okay? So perfect. Once you have the arc, don't be in a hurry to rule out, right? So because you don't know where this line is going to meet at what this point. Now that if you are done with that, because we know that this one and this one are equal, and then here the top and down are also equal according to the properties of a parallelogram. So come and stand at the C once again, right? So because here we want to rule this line at the end, right? So yeah, you have to take this measurement. Say that was what that we know. So stand here and then open to the A. Right, so have your measurement down. Is that okay? So very perfect and nice. So that is the measurement. Now if you have this measurement, come and stand at the C and then cross the first arc, right? So where these two people meet or they intersect at all, this point here, that is where the D is going to be based on that property. Now rule the line through the intersection here, and then rule this one also through the intersection. Now that you have a four-sided figure, that is what a parallelogram, right? So that is how simple you construct something. There is not anything complicated. All that you have to make sure that you are following the instructions step by step. Okay, now the final part of the question says you should measure this guy here. So line PD, right? So from P to D, that is what the question is asking us to measure. So from here, from the P to the D, and then give me your answer to this thing in the comment section below. Now let's see how to construct another quadrilateral in the next question. At this point, we are going to construct a rhombus using what this information. So the letters here are M, N, O, and a Q with a length of 10 centimeters. So the rhombus here, to construct that, you have to know some properties of the rhombus. That tells me that all the sizes are equal, right? So all the sizes here are equal. So let's see how to do that. So that is the idea. So all these four sizes there must be equal, right? So that is why from the question you are giving only what two things here. So we are giving the length as well as the angle. The angle is 45 degrees. So that is going to form at the end. Now we have the length here, that's the MN to be 10 centimeters, so 10 cm here. So angle what? MO MNO, right? So angle MNO here is 45 degrees. So here is exactly where the angle is formed. So you have your 90 down, and then you construct all your 45 degrees perfectly, very nicely. So those are the only two informations that we are giving. Of course, this is what a quadrilateral. So how can we achieve the rest of that information? That tells you should have the idea that all the sizes of the rhombus must be what equal, right? So here, since we have one side here to be what 10 centimeters, you are free to go. So you are free to determine what the rest of the sizes. So from here, that is what my 10 centimeters. So take that measurement here, right? So 10 centimeters. Is that okay? So take that 10 centimeters here, and then with that same thing, then have your arc on this line, right? So you have that arc here. Come and stand here. Right, come and stand at this point here, and then have another arc. So a very long one, of course, because you don't know where the other one is going to intersect, right? So that's a very long one here. And then how can you get it? With the same radius, right? Don't close it, since we know that all the sizes are equal. So come and stand at where this guy intersects here. right? So come and stand where this guy intersects here, and then cross this arc, right? So come across that arc. Very very simple and straightforward. So that is where we are going to have our rhombus. So we join this line here to this point, and then join the line here from to this point, right? So that's a very nice shape here. So after joining from here to here is the same as from here to here, is the same as from here to here. So this is how simple you construct for rows if you are giving what just what two information set. Now you are required to measure distance. So M to N and then N to K. So M to O here, right? So M to O, and then you have to measure N to N to Q, right? So N to Q. So give me the answers to all these three questions. If you get some value from this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more content.